Okay, hello once again. Today's lesson is on geometry problems that involve simultaneous equations. We've done a lot of work on simultaneous equations recently. We've been doing really well. So hopefully this shouldn't cause us any major issues. Should all be quite straightforward. We're going to be using some pretty basic geometry knowledge. It'll be things like the perimeter of a rectangle that we looked at in the last video, and in particular in this one we'll be using a triangle. So we'll be using, this is an isosceles triangle, so there's two geometry facts I'm going to use. I'm going to use the fact that the what should we call them, the angles at the base are equal, because it's an isosceles triangle, and I'm going to use the obvious facts that angles in a triangle add up to 180. Both things that we should be very comfortable with. So these two facts should be able to give us two equations. If we look at the diagram here in white, I can set up one equation because I know that the two base angles, this angle and this angle, x plus y minus 10 and 2y minus 5, must be the same. So I can set up one equation like that. X plus y minus 10 is equal to 2y minus 5. It's going to be one of my equations. And the other one, because I know that angles in a triangle add up to 180, I know that this plus this plus this is going to have to add up to 180. So x plus y minus 10, the first one I underlined, 2y minus 5, add that on, and x plus 10, add that on. All adds up to, just about squeeze this in. No, I can't. Run out of space. Just let me shift that over so I can get the 0 in. It's 180 degrees. So there's my two equations, and I'm going to solve them simultaneously, although first I'm going to tidy them up. And the way we like them is we want all the letters, let's not use letters, the unknowns, that's the proper word, all the unknowns to go to one side of the equation, and we want to put the numerical parts, the numbers, to the other side. So let's do that for the green one, and we'll do it for the pink equation, and then we'll have our two equations that we can solve simultaneously. So first, let's get rid of the 10. Let's add 10 to both sides, so that the numerical part of the green equation is gone. I'm left with x plus y on the right is equal to 2y minus 5 plus 10 makes plus 5. And then let's lose the 2y from the right. So take away 2y from both sides. And I'm left with the equation x minus y, because 1y take away 2y is negative y on the left, and just 5 on the right. So that's the green equation all sorted. The pink equation, well, before we try and simplify the pink equation, before we try moving anything around, let's just collect the like terms. So that's the two x's together to make 2x. There's a y there, there's 2y there, so that makes a total of 3y. And the numerical parts, there's a negative 10, a negative 5, and a positive 10. So you can probably anticipate that the negative 10 and the positive 10 cancel each other out, and we're just left with negative 5 on the right and 180 on the left. One quick step to tidy that up. Let's get rid of this numerical part there, add 5 to both sides, and our equation becomes 2x plus 3y on the left hand side is equal to 185. And once again, we're at the position where I've got two equations, 1, 2, two unknowns, should be able, with a little bit of mathematics, to figure out what the values of x and y are. So let's say I've got 1x here and minus 1y, so I'm going to multiply the first equation by 3 so that the number of y's here and the number of y's here is the same. So if I multiply the first equation by 3, I get 3x minus 3y is equal to 15. And then we'll call that equation 3. I'm going to add equation 2 and equation 3 together. Shouldn't really use an equal sign. And that gives me 5x, 3y and negative 3y cancel, they eliminate each other. 185 plus 15 makes 200. So if 5x is 200, I know that 1x is equal to 40. Got x, 40 degrees essentially. I need to work out what y is. Can pick either of these two equations, equation 1 or equation 2. Just see equation 2 there. I'm not going to use equation 2, though. I'm going to use equation 1 because it's a much nicer equation. X minus y is 5. X minus y is 5. That's equation 1. If I stick 40 into that, I get 40 minus y is 5. Should be fairly obvious that y, whoops, being a bit funny the boards here, is 35. Not the neatest. The board's giving me a little bit of trouble there. We've got x is 40 and y is 35, and we'll just check that in the pink equation in our heads, or maybe just a little bit on the boards. We know x is 40, so 2x's are 80. We know y, I've forgotten actually what y was. Y is 35, so 3y's are 35, 70, 105. And if we add those two things together, we get 185 as expected. So looks like that's the correct solution. That x is 40 and y is 35. So the last step, and there is another little step involved in these questions, because x and y are not really what I'm interested in finding. What I really want to know are what are the three angles. Well, there's only really two, aren't there? Because these two angles are the same. This one and this one are the same. So, well, this angle is x plus 10, the angle at the top. So I'm going to draw the triangle out again. No, I'm not going to draw it out again. I'm going to copy it. Let's just lose that scribble that I've just done. Let's lose all of that. Let's just copy that. Bear with me 2 secs. Copy that, drop it again at the bottom, because I want everything to be in order. It's really important that we get into the habit of putting everything in order. I don't want the answer at the top of your page. Doesn't make any sense. The answer should be at the bottom where you finish doing your work. So we know that x was 40, and we remember that y was 35. So that means x plus 10, which is the angle at the top, must be 50. And this angle here, 2y minus 5, must be 2y's are 70 minus 5 is 65. So instead of that there, I'm going to write in my answers that that angle is 50, that angle is 65, and that angle is 65. Okay, that should all be straightforward. Haven't got a task for you to do today. Be pleased to know. Just if you have any questions about that, please bring them at the start of the lesson. We'll try and address it. I think we'll probably all find this pretty straightforward. We'll be using things like perimeter and angles in a triangle may be angles in a quadrilateral. Pretty simple geometry, but using the simultaneous equations to try and solve them. I'll see you all tomorrow. No, in fact, just realised we haven't got a lesson now till Monday. You've got ages to get this understood.